Praise the Lord, my sisters and brothers. I'm so grateful to be alive today because it's by the grace of God we live. It's not because we can and we have every power and authority to say we will live. It's because our God has given us another opportunity of repenting our sin and searching ourselves where we were lost yesterday. So today I have a message of understanding your identity and knowing who is your God. I will speak about Jephthah. We all know Jephthah. He was a great, mighty warrior. And if the Bible calls somebody a warrior, I don't know what I can call him. Because that is somebody who was well known and tempted and well known that he's a mighty warrior. So what I will say and what I will speak about it is this. Jephthah was born in a family, you will see it in Judges 11. Jephthah was born in a family that his dad has two wives and his mother was a concubine. And I tell you, the life was not bad because if his dad has something to be inherited, that means he had everything that somebody can wish for in life. But he was pushed out by his own blood brothers because they see him as a hindrance because he don't belong to a good mother, and they thought that they are so special in everything that can happen. Because even in churches we find people who are thinking that they are the ones supposed to inherit the kingdom of heaven, others are not supposed. Because you hear people saying, oh, that person cannot be, oh, that person cannot speak a speech that people can listen. Yeah, because why? Because they think that they are the people who are before the other people. There are these people everywhere, in churches, in the marketplace, everywhere. We have these people who think that they own everywhere. But we see Jephthah, when he go outside, he become worthless. He's an influencer of a worthless group. Remember, in him there is a title of a warrior. And another, again, in him there is a title of a concubine son. So when he combined them all, he became miserable. He didn't see anything to do with life. He didn't thought that life belonged to him. He thought everything that is finished, because if somebody can push me out of my father's inheritance, then who am I? And when he went there, he forget that when life give you pain, it means that you are a trailblazer. And in his worthlessness, it comes a time, because it always comes a time that God will make people need you. The people of Gilead were invaded by enemies. There was the war was about to start, and because they didn't have so many warriors and they didn't know who will fight with them, they go in search of a leader. Because the Bible said the leaders of Gilead, they go to search for Jephthah to lead them. But do you know where he went? He went into worthless group. That is where they found him. So he was nowhere to be found. He was nowhere near God. He didn't know exactly whom he was. Why? Because he has made himself worthless in the situation he was undergoing. That is why he made himself worthless. Sometimes we allow the situation that we go too much to change us. Because the Bible tells us he started that group. He was not of that group before. He started the group. So it started because of a painful life he underwent that moment. And it came to a time people need a reader. And this reader name is Jephthah. And you know this name, when he go and he talked to the man of the city, of the one who wanted to start fight with the Israelites, and they planned the day of the war. And because he didn't know God before, because we see like he got to God with promises and vows. Because if you don't know God, if you don't know people, if for the first time you are going to a place, don't expect access of that country. Don't expect access from the president if you just know him for the first time. And you cannot start by telling God, I want, and you have not even known him. So what he did, he didn't have enough faith in God to know that he can go and pull himself out and talk to God, because when a trailblazer is created by God, he knows them, and all he's waiting is to talk to hear to them, because the Bible says when the righteous one call, God listens. If he was chosen to fight for people of Gilead, that means that he was righteous and chosen by God. But he didn't know his value, he didn't know his worth. So what he did, he go before God with promises. The situation he had before didn't make him to know, I will trust in my God. I will fight until I make it. But what he did, he told God, if you make me win, the first thing that will come to me when I come from the war, I'll give you as a sacrifice. The girl was innocent. He was not there when his dad gave a promise. But do you know she was the first person to come to him when he came from the war. What am I trying to say? And when Jephthah saw her, he said, my daughter, what have you done to me? Why? It is because one thing, his vow had no ground. Because we don't see Abraham as telling God, I'm going to give you Isaac because I love you so much. No. God himself told him, go and sacrifice Isaac for me. If you don't have faith in God, you will continue losing. If you don't have faith in God, you will continue pushing things that you can believe God to give you just by believing in him. When Joshua was chosen by God and he was afraid and he didn't know what to do, he went to God, and God himself gave him away, and he told him, be determined, be courage. Why? Because all those things, determination and courageous, need faith in God. So even when he spoke to the son, because he had enough faith in God, he was given power and authority over the kingdom of nature. Why? Because he has faith in God. We don't see him sacrificing for sun to stand. Only we see him is knowing his praise, standing on his lane, and understanding whom he is, because he has taught himself to stand and to trust in God. Sometimes we let the life that we live and the life that people push us through to betray our identity. Yes, God will be us, and whenever we go to pray with God, in God, He will do it. But we will not have fully trust in God. We have to tell God or promise Him we will give Him something. Just trust in your God. Whether you have something to give him or no, just put your full trust in God. Be trustworthy in God and see what he can do to you. Just trust him and put your whole faith in him. God is ready to give you victory. It doesn't matter who pushed you out. It doesn't matter what kind of worthless situation you are in. Just trust in God. Because even in God, in the book of Isaiah, one said that, who told you I need your vows and sacrifices? All I need is your righteous heart. A righteous heart. When Abraham had faith in God, what he did, he was considered righteous. Then why are you fooling God aloud and telling God, God, if you give me, I give you? Just trust in God and know your value and know your identity. God bless you.